Okay, gents, this is it. Probably the biggest game of the season. Liverpool against Manchester City coming up this weekend. Monumental one at Anfield. Liverpool top of the table, but just 1 point ahead of City heading into this weekend. Nick, let's kick off with you, mate. Liverpool, it seems like destiny is working in their favour a little bit with this quadruple push. Jurgen Klopp's final few months in charge. Salah's come back. My question to you is, are they actually the favourites to win this at home against City? Because City have been pretty unstoppable themselves in recent weeks.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. They have the heart quotient. I hate talking about this so much because you know how much I love numbers. The analytics, I really ticked off a few people. I was on a radio station up here in Buffalo as a guest this week. They asked me, and that the hosts are a Liverpool fan and an Arsenal fan. And numbers-wise, Liverpool are so far behind Arsenal and Man City. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And there's just a column that we have been unable to check, whether it's heart or destiny or whatever you want to call it. And I think
it's vibes.
Yeah, vibes. Yeah. I don't know how.
XP, expected passion. Yeah,
expected passion. Yes. Yeah. Goals below passion. I don't know. It's insane. And so I don't pick against Liverpool, but I can't tell you they're the favorites to win it. And that's what makes this game so intriguing, let alone, by the way, coming back from Czechia, is with a team that is still coming back to full fitness. They may have all their weapons, but they don't have their weapons to play, hey, I'm going to need you for 90 both games. So I can't quite say they're the favorites, and yet you're going to have a hard time getting me to not pick them.
Yeah, it's like flip of a coin situation, right? In terms of just, we do not know how Salah, Szoboszlai, Endo, just how fit these guys are going to be to have a huge impact in a huge game coming back from these injuries right away. But I mean, the Anfield atmosphere, the fact that could be Klopp against Guardiola for the very last time as Liverpool and Man City managers, just everything with the title, not on the line, but we know how key this will be. I mean, I did a prediction on Pro Soccer Talk at NBCSports.com where I predicted the results for the final run-in for Arsenal, City, and Liverpool. And right now, ahead of this weekend, I have Liverpool winning the title by 1 point. But that just shows you that this weekend, if, I had that as a draw, but if City win it, then they win the title. It's so close, right, Andy? And I think this is the dream scenario for anybody who loves the Premier League or loves football, to have Arsenal, City, Liverpool all going for it late in the season, but then to have this big of a game at Anfield just feels right. It feels like this is the perfect moment to have this kind of game and set things up for the final couple months of the season. So how do you feel going into this? Because City, again, like I said, they were brilliant last weekend in the Champions League quarterfinals, and they kind of just hit top form at the right time, haven't they?
Yeah, I mean, obviously they had to come back. Yeah, they had to come back and beat United, and they started a little bit slow, but once they got going, we saw the best team in the world. I don't know that it's any more complicated than that, really, because, I mean, we saw what they did last year. They go and win the treble. They come back this season. There's no drop-off, nothing out of character, nothing that's unusual for Man City to start the season. And I think that should have been a sign, I think, to a lot of people. If there wasn't a drastic drop-off immediately after achieving that, then what could ever take them off their game? What could ever have them off of the top of the Premier League? And so I just look at this, and we've talked about it in recent weeks. They're peaking at the right time. They're doing what they do every single year. And Liverpool, while they're getting healthy and they're getting some players back, they're certainly not at their best. They have been through some big, big battles in recent weeks. You think about the League Cup final, and as amazing of an achievement to win that with the players that he did for Klopp, go do it against City now. I wonder at what point is it an ask slightly too big, a step too far for not Klopp, but for the players that he's got available at this point? Because at this point, we're about a month into kind of this current injury crisis. It's the same players that have been playing virtually every single game for them, and at some point their performance drops, and everything seems to be mounting up against Liverpool and in City's favor heading into this one.
It's really interesting because after the Manchester derby, I caught up with Ruben Diaz in the tunnel and just asked him about, how is it that City keep clicking into top gear at the perfect moment, season after season after season? He kind of shrugged his shoulders. He's like, every year is a new challenge. He's like, what we've done in the past is beautiful, but it's in the past. And he's sort of a bit of a surly character. And I think Ruben Diaz, Rodri, Kevin De Bruyne, even Pep, they're all kind of like that, right? They're never satisfied, always kind of have something to not moan about, but just something to focus their energy on, to improve and to rally everyone around them. And, and again, Diaz as well, I think he said, we're still the same people that won the treble, and that's the reason why we won the treble. We want to win it. And it's just that winner's mentality from Manchester City that's really coming to the fore at this stage of the season. And again, I'm not saying Liverpool don't have that, because if all their players are back fit, a lot of that team that have won the Champions League and the Premier League in the past, they're going to be lining up on the pitch at Anfield on Sunday. But Nick, it just seems like with City in full flow, probably dominating midfield, you would think, in this game. And Phil Foden is the X factor right now. As an England fan, I'm absolutely delighted with the form he's in and just hoping that he can keep it going for the Euros this summer. But it is hard to make a case, even all the emotions aside, for Liverpool winning this one. And I don't know. Man City have struggled at Anfield. That's the only thing I'm thinking about over the years as weird bogey grounds for teams, right? Where, and we know Guardiola's record against Klopp hasn't been great over the years. He's the one coach that consistently gets the better of him with his style of play. But is that kind of out the window right now, everything we talked about, and this being a difficult moment for Liverpool?
I believe this. Man City, given all the other variables, I've talked myself into predicting against Liverpool. I'm going to tell you that, even in the few minutes that I thought it was going to go in the other direction, Man City don't give up a lot of chances. They especially, the only way to get them is through open play, which I think gives Liverpool a shot here. But here's a crazy stat for you. I think this is absolutely bonkers. Set pieces and direct free kicks, Liverpool have conceded 39 of them. It's not awful. You know how many Man City have conceded? 8 shot attempts off of these. Okay, so only 8 times this season, besides corner and open play, has Ederson even been tested. And I just think where they foul, where they give up their chances, the way that they're drilled, and the system is going to provide more chances for them than Liverpool. I think Liverpool has an X factor. I think we've all been sleeping on Darwin Nunez. I really think it's going to bear him out that he is a better player than people realize, because he's just missed some chances. But if it's not on the counter, I don't see how Liverpool are going to win this game.
And I mean, like I said at the very start of this, it seems like destiny is really working in Liverpool's favor. Again, fate, whatever you want to call it, those intangibles, the way they won at Nottingham Forest in the 99th minute last weekend, Nunez popping up. Salah's back now as well. And I just wonder that lift that he will give the rest of the Liverpool players, the fans, and a bit demoralising for Man City as well. They might have been thinking, looking ahead to this game, at least Salah's not there. He usually scores against us. He usually comes up with something. But he's back now. His battle, Andy, with probably Nathan Ake, right, will line up as a left-sided centre-back for City. I wonder if that's in a game of very small margins over the years between these two. I wonder if Salah is even, 85% of what his usual talent is, given his injuries in recent weeks. If he's there, I just feel like he can swing the game and those vibes and that atmosphere in Liverpool's favour a little bit. Is that the key battle there? Any others across the pitch that you're focused on?
Yeah, from a Liverpool perspective, certainly that's the key one right there. That's your star man. That's your best chance at generating chances against, to Nick's point, against a team that doesn't give up a ton of chances. And so they're going to have to work, I think, a lot harder to generate chances than they typically have to do. And that can, not only can that psychologically, I think, frustrate teams a little bit, but it can take you slightly out of your game plan and what you want to do and the way you set up. It can force you to take risks that you maybe don't want to take or that you otherwise wouldn't, and leave yourself exposed to a team that obviously is as talented and brilliant as Manchester City. And so it just feels like Liverpool will have to work obviously they'll have to work really hard to beat Manchester City. But to even accomplish the small things within the context of the game, it's going to be an uphill battle, I think, for Liverpool from the start. Home, away, it doesn't matter at this point for Manchester City. They know who they are. The game is typically going to be dictated by them and played on their terms. And I don't think this one will be any different.
And also, we have to mention Man City have barely had any injuries since De Bruyne and Haaland have come back, and just have the luxury of rotating midweek in the Champions League, getting through to the quarters, and just resting some of those key players ahead of this game. So that's a big bonus as well. All right, Nick, you have the unenviable task of going first on the score predictions, my friend. What are you going for and why?
I'm going to buttress this pick with real info, backing up what you said. Bernardo Silva, Kevin De Bruyne, Kyle Walker, Nathan Ake, Phil Foden all played 0 minutes at midweek against Copenhagen. Just kept rested, ready for this game. And I think that'll be the difference. 2-1 Man City at Anfield.
Andy?
I have the exact same thing, and I'll take the same reasons as well, Nick.
Awesome.
I'm going to go 2-2. I think vibes and atmosphere will carry Liverpool a little bit, and probably a lot, actually. And I think that will be the difference in margin between City winning. I think City will control the ball a lot, but I can just see Liverpool getting some big chances. And Man City, I guess they're going to have to hope that Haaland maybe has another off day. Kevin De Bruyne doesn't quite control the game like he usually does. So I just feel like a draw will be okay, and Man City will probably be okay with that, considering the games they have remaining as well. But maybe I'm just hoping for this crazy title race just to keep on.
Just can't let it go.
Yeah, don't let it go yet. Not yet. It's still a couple months to the end to the end to go. But it's going to be a great one at Anfield this weekend. Liverpool against Man City. Massive game in the title race. We'll have it covered over on Pro Soccer Talk on NBCSports.com with how to watch information, preview, team news, analysis before, during, and after, and all the rest. It's going to be a fun one as these two giants square off in a massive title clash.
Hi there, I'm Rebecca Lowe, studio host for NBC's coverage of the Premier League. Don't forget to hit subscribe to watch more videos all season long. And for even more Premier League content, from original series to live matches, head over to Peacock. And be sure to tune in for Premier League mornings every weekend on USA Network and on Peacock. We will see you there.